Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning everybody. Good morning everybody. Can you hear me? If you can, please chat in the comment there. Say that, oh, I can hear you, madam. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me? All right. Good morning, everyone. Okay, thank you so much for the response. It's very important for me to make sure that you can hear me first, then I can start. Thank you so much for all of the response. So now let's begin with our lecture today, which is the absolute values. Okay, so the first learning objective, this is learning objective, LO is the learning objective, is to state the properties of the absolute value. Okay, before I go to the statement, before I go to the properties of the absolute value, I think it is best for me to tell you what is the definition of absolute value. So I hope that you are now with your hard copy notes that I've given to all of you, soft copy, right? But if you don't have it yet, it's okay. Just prepare one sheet of paper and write it down together with me here, okay? Boleh ke semua orang? Boleh ikut saya sambil mendengar, sambil menulis. So kita akan mula dengan definisi tentang absolute value. So absolute value, sometimes we call it modulus. Yeah, either of this is correct. When you say it, when we want to mention it, we can say it is modulus of x ataupun absolute value of x. So the definition is very, very crucial, okay? Before I go further, I think I must tell you what's the definition. So the definition is actually having a modulus of x ataupun saya panggil dia sebagai absolute value of x is equals to, there are two answers. One is a positive x, where x is more than or equal to 0. Another is negative x. So we have two value of x, where x is less than 0. So one is more than 0. Another one is less than 0. This is just a definition of the absolute value. So the definition is very crucial. Whenever you see a modulus, it means we have two value of x. Okay, so also since we know that there are two value of x, we can also write it down. There are another definitions. Also, let me write down. Also, we must note that. Also, we must note that modulus of x ataupun absolute value of x is also equals to the square root of x squared, di mana x di mana benda ni it's a definition as well, okay? Definition bermaksud it is just a formula, a things that we have to follow, okay? Not to argue. So we learning based on definition. So please bear in mind that these two definition here is two things that you must write down on your notes, okay? And di sini saya akan terangkan macam mana nak bagi nampak definisi itu dengan lebih jelas, iaitu kita mempunyai since we are using the value of x is 0, so the direction is actually from 0, then circle to the right hand side here. So this is actually y is equals to x. Kenapa saya letak y equals? Sebab ni sebenarnya y equal. So the absolute value is actually a function. Nanti you di chapter 5, you akan belajar absolute value function. So when it's a function, it's actually fungsi y lah, which I know most of you know already. So that is why I write down y equal, because of this y equal absolute of value of x. Another one is empty circle going to the left. So when it's going to the left, the function is y equals to negative x. So if you can see very clearly here, when it is going to the x value, this is the region where it has a positive value. But of course lah, more than 0 is a positive value of x. While less than 0, it will be less than 0. The value here will be less than 0. So it's a negative value, So this is the definition yang you mesti faham, macam mana nak menulis definisi ini dan macam mana nak melukis di dalam number line. Alright, so let's say lah I have a graph, let's say. Since I already use a function y, isn't it? So kalau ada function y, bermaksud ada paksi y. So let's say lah saya menggunakan function yang sama, iaitu y equals to x and y equals to negative x. And so this is actually a positive linear, in fact, isn't it? So a positive linear will give you a straight line like this. At the first quadrant, this is y equals to positive x. This is a linear. Well, this one is y equals to negative x, which is a negative linear. So basically, you nampak dengan jelas bahawa this is actually the function of y equals to positive x, while this one is actually a function of y equals to negative x. So basically, apa yang saya cuba nak sampaikan adalah di mana daripada number line ini sebenarnya datang daripada mana? Datang daripada definisi. This definition of the modulus of x ataupun absolute value of x, sebenarnya lukisan graph tersebut adalah begini. The real graphing it should be like this: y equals to positive x. This is actually a positive linear. Please write it down there and notes this is linear sebenarnya. Linear di mana dia positive. Well, this is also linear di mana dia negative linear. You know that linear graph. I'm talking about graph here. So I just want to show you the definition lah secara dengan jelasnya, di mana kalaulah kita ada let's say lah this is value of 3, let's say saja. So because I want to give you an example, kalaulah modulus of negative 3, and we all know it is actually a positive 3, isn't it? And this is 3. So basically this is a property. So now barulah saya nak masuk ke arah properties, di mana modulus of A is always positive maksud more than or equal to 0 lah. That's why we always get a positive value. But you jangan terkejut mana datang negatif ni sebenarnya. So negative 3 is actually coming from the graph itself. Okay, negative 3 is actually coming from the graph. You don't have to worry. But the value is still what? Still positive. Because why? Because the distance, okay, this is called the distance. The distance from the distance of x from this origin, it's 3 unit. So basically, why is it modulus of x ataupun modulus of 3 ataupun negative 3 will always give you 3 unit? It's because of the distance from the origin. Okay, because what? Because negative 3 and 3 are 3 units from 0. So the distance from the origin is always positive value. It is sort of like a magnitude. So magnitude is positive value lah kan. So all I want to say here is just this is a basic definition di mana kita semua patut faham lah. Definisi kepada absolute value sebenarnya perlu dituliskan menjadi dua jenis, iaitu one is positive x where x is more than or equal to 0, where I said here is a positive linear, you know, while we have also negative x which is going to the left di mana it has a x less than 0, right? So all of this is the journey of x less than 0, di mana we call this a negative linear graph. So it's very connected with each other, even though you haven't learned the graph yet, but you do know the basic graph bagaimana, betul tak? So it's very important to know the definisi, barulah saya boleh pergi ke arah properties. You boleh tengok sendiri kenapa dia begini-begini, and you see the example here. And the crucial part of this subtopic is solving the absolute equation. So let's go to the second goal, the second learning objective, which is to solve the absolute equation. So please bear in mind, absolute equation bermaksud the equal sign. It means that you have a modulus and it gives you an equal sign. Okay, so determine the problem first. So step pertama lah, saya memang mengajar mula daripada concrete example. That is how it works on my lecture. Every time I will start with concrete example dulu and I'll show you the formula later. Okay, later. So let's focus at the concrete example first, whereby you got to determine the step one first, which is determine the problem. So what is the problem? The problem is actually the equation, not the equation, the absolute and having an equations. So this is our problem. Our problem is having an absolute value ataupun a modulus dan juga bersama equations. Alright, so problem is modulus and also the equation. That is the first problem. So when we know the problem, we know how to solve them. So we know a definition of modulus. Modulus can be changed into plus minus x, isn't it? We all know it. So this is the second step. The second step is, let me use a different color. So this is at the second step. So the second step ni solving lah. So we are going to solve now. Step 2 is solve. Step 1 is problem. Step 2 is solve it. So I changed this modulus into, so what I did here is just I changed this modulus into plus or minus sign. Because we know the definition said that modulus has two x. One is positive x, one is negative x. So then you make it equal to 4. You copy back the question. All you did is just changing the modulus into plus minus sign, because we know that's the definition, isn't it? And so x is equals to 4 ataupun x is equals to negative 4. So that is our answer. That is the first answer, guys. As easy as that. We have two type of answer. One is positive 4, one is negative 4. Now let's go to the second question. So we also have here modulus. Since modulus can be changed into plus or minus, as we all know. And so don't forget, we can change it again. Oops. Jangan lari jauh sangat. Just a minute, yeah. So we can change this into two different answers. One is positive x plus 8 is equals to 2, or, yeah, you should write it down, or negative x plus 8 equals to 2. So you know how to do this already. So x is equals to 2 minus 8, which is negative 6. Ataupun here goes negative x minus 8 equals to 2. You darab masuk saja, you don't have to worry. Just times it in, expand it, and then you will get x is equal to negative 10. So your answer is actually x is equals to negative 6 or x is equals to negative 10. So you must make sure you have two kind of answers and you put the word or. Mesti ada perkataan or itu. Okay? Now, let's go to the next question. See, next example, I mean. So again, we look at the problem. Sorry, I forgot to mention, we must look at the problem since semua ni problem yang sama saja, right? The problem is having a modulus and also having an equal sign. Okay, that is the problem. You must check on this first. So after you know the problem, you know how to solve it. So you solve it just by changing the modulus into positive and negative sign. And you know there are two kind of equation. One is 5x plus 3 is equals to 2x plus 9. Or, don't forget to put the word or. It's very, very crucial here. So I hope you are writing. Oh God, don't move it too fast. Or the word, or another equation which is negative 5x plus 3 is equals to 2x plus 9. So I hope you are doing it with me right now, writing, jot down everything here. Okay? So here goes 5x minus 2x, you will get 3x. 9 minus 3 is 6, therefore x equals to 2. Or we have here the word or must be written there. How much important to write it down. So basically we have a negative 7x is equals to 12. Therefore x is equals to negative 12 over 7. So basically we have two kind of answers. I would like to remind you our answer should have two answers. Either x is equals to 2 or x equals to negative 12 over 7. So please make sure you write down a very clear answers there, okay? So now going to the next part, which is question D. Problem D. Just don't move too up. Okay, this problem is also the same, even though you have a rational, right? You have a apa ni kita panggil dia rational lah, ratio kan. This is a pecahan lah, but you don't have to worry. The problem is still the same. You are still just having a modulus and an equal sign, so you don't have to worry. All you gotta do is just put a plus or minus sign di depan dia. So it will become a positive. You will have a two statement lah kan. You will have two different equation. One is x plus 1 divided by x minus 3 equals to 2. Or another one, I would like to just duplicate this one and slowly. Okay. And I change this into a negative sign instead. Okay, so kita ada dua statement di sini sama sahaja. Please make sure you write down the word or there. It's very important. And so you just solve it nicely, cross multiply. And here goes, you will get 2x minus 6. And here goes negative x is equals to negative 7 and hence x is equals to positive 7. Ataupun, here goes negative x minus 1 equals to 2x minus 6. Therefore, negative 3x is equals to what? Negative 5. So x is equals to 5 over 3. So basically, you have done all four type of problems. The same problem, isn't it? The same step, the same kind of answer, which is we have the word or there. So I think by doing this four kind of example dah cukup betul tak untuk you faham bahawa kita akan ada dua jawapan apabila kita menjawab problem yang mempunyai modulus and also equal sign. And so we're done here. The thing is that this question, this part, tengok soalan E pula. Okay, E dan F. Kalau you scan betul-betul, this example lah, is having two modulus now, bukan satu modulus. Okay, now we have two modulus in one equation. So how do we do that? So this is a tips where if you have one modulus, use BD. If you have two modulus, use squaring both sides. But hang on a minute, what is BD? So BD is actually a basic definition. So let me introduce now, going to the formula, this is the basic definition. I call it BD. Why do I call it BD? It's short form, okay? Basic definition. So definition tu penting ataupun tidak? It is definitely penting. So saya nak tunjukkan sedikitlah dari segi number line untuk ini kan, sebab kita sudah tahu bahawa we have two value of A, which is one is negative, another one is positive A. One is negative A, one is positive A. So we know that the answer is just at that place, at that place only. So that's why our answer is just either x equals to A or x is equals to negative A. So this is the graphical line lah, ataupun the number line. The rest of it, I will show you at the next page. But let me just focus at this two modulus. So our problem now is having a two modulus and one equation. So how do we do that? If you have a two modulus, use squaring both sides. So can you recall the definition just now? So let's recall about the definition of modulus x can also be written as square root of x squared. Remember this? We have learned that just now. That is the definition, ya. Ini adalah definisi kepada absolute value juga, di mana kita boleh tukarkan. Saya rasa saya prefer untuk menjawab soalan E lah. So let me show you the example of E. So here goes. Untuk menjawab soalan yang dua modulus, squaring both side bermaksud begini sahaja. You just square the problem both sides. That is what it means. Apply squaring both sides. SBS. Ini yang dipanggil sebagai konsep. Okay, konsep SBS. Kenapa? Lepas tu dia akan jadi apa? Dia akan jadi magically 2x plus 6. The whole thing squared. Again, tiba-tiba modulus hilang. And you want to know why is it hilang? Okay, kenapa dia hilang? Kenapa dua-dua ni jadi bracket instead? Okay, there is a reason for it. Okay, and I want you to figure it out. Kenapa modulus tu hilang? I want you to think by yourself. Okay, kita akan bincang di tutorial nanti. So what you need to do right now is just square both sides. When you see a two modulus in one problem. Okay, so you just square both sides and you will get 4x squared plus 24x plus 36 equals to x squared minus 2x plus 1, and you simplify it, you will get 3x squared plus 28. No. Plus 28 plus 26 x and then plus 35 equal to 0. And so when you factorize it, you use your calculator or you can use your brain, and then you will get here 7, here 5, and here plus, because 21 plus 5 is 26. And here goes x equals to negative 5 over 3, or x is equals to negative 7. So here goes, you got two kind of answer. Again, both of them are in equal sign. Okay, guys? Everything here is in equal sign. Can you see that? All of here are equal sign. Sebab apa? Sebab problem kita adalah dalam bentuk equal. Equal means equation. Remember, equal means equation. So equation will always give you either that or this. That's why you will always two answers in answering what kind of problem? problem dia apa? Problem dia dipanggil sebagai absolute equation. This is the problem. Kenapa saya asyik sebut problem ni? Sebab saya nak pergi ke next goal. The goal of the third one is the absolute inequalities. And now our problem is changed. Problem here is inequality pula. If you can see here, the notes, everything is all inequality. Can you see that? So when you have an inequality sign, it means it is not the same as the equation anymore. No more same, not same, no, not the same technique anymore. We have a new kind of solving technique. So that's why I am very keen of telling you what is the problem. So first step, you must determine the problem. What is your problem? The problem is where it has a more than sign, more than or equal, or less than or equal. All of this is called as inequalities. So I hope you understand that very clearly. These are all inequalities. Problem will always have an inequality. And how many modulus you have here? You have one modulus. Okay, guys, see the problem first. Observe it first. Okay, you have a modulus sign and you have a inequality. Tak kisahlah apa simbolnya. Okay, asalkan inequality. So after you know the problem, you must know how to solve them. Sebab lain problem, lain penyelesaiannya. So that's why you need to know the problem. So now, how do we solve this problem? It is actually almost the same technique as before. You just change the modulus into plus minus sign. Okay, and you will see a magic here. Bukanlah magic apa. You will see you must copy back the rest of the inequality. Just copy down. Tak ada lagi equal sign. No more. This is now inequality where you just follow whatever the question, the problem is asking from you. Okay. So now all you got to do is just change the one modulus on the left hand side here into plus or minus sign. We know the definition mengatakan dia plus minus, betul tak? And so we just split them into two inequality. Split them, yeah? Split them. We split them, it will become this or this. Right? And then you can see that this will be changing into two. Kadang-kadang, okay, kat sini ada dua cara matematik yang you boleh buatlah sama ada you darab masuk. Tapi di sini saya tidak mahu tunjuk cara darab masuk. Saya nak tunjukkan cara yang berkaitan dengan formula. So when we divide both sides, with negative, we will get a positive, but the sign changes. Okay, the sign ini maksud saya, the sign changes from positive infinity. From more than or equal, dia jadi less than or equal. You know that already. You have learned it in this 2.2 inequality, betul tak? So I assume you already know this. When I divide both sides, it means the sign changes. So yang ini saya copy back balik lah. So di sini saya nak menunjukkan bahawa saya sedang menyelesaikan problem nombor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, ni. Saya sedang menyelesaikan ini sebenarnya. If you can relate this concrete example here. Ini apa yang saya buat ni. This or this. Okay, this or this. There are two inequality tak? Daripada satu absolute value, dia ditulis menjadi dua inequality. Disebabkan apa? Disebabkan definisi itulah. Definisi daripada mana? Basic definition. So from the basic definition, BD lah. We call it BD. There is of course lah, two value of A, isn't it? One is positive, one is negative, as we know. So you have to remember that this is actually sama kan dengan yang ini? Adakah ini sama? X more than or equals to A. This is this one. Is it the same? Well, this one, X is less than or equals to negative A. Is this the same? You tell me now. Is this the same? Yes or no? Comment down in the chat there. Are these two the same? So yes, if you look very closely, they are very the same. Okay, so the lukisan di dalam uh, dua jawapan ini sebenarnya adalah cara pelukisan di number line is actually here going to the right hand side. So this is the region, while here is going to the left hand side, and this is the region. So basically, you must know that we will have two inequality, and it must be written as the word or. Mesti dituliskan dalam perkataan or. Okay? And kalau nak tengok balik, there's a mnemonics that we created, macam cara untuk mudah hafal kan. Kami menyediakan gola, you know. If you see something, a sign where the symbol is greater, so we call this greater or. Okay, you tulis sendirilah. This is greater or ataupun lesser n. This is the symbolize of lesser n. Okay, so there are two. This is just a mnemonics that we created for you all untuk senang menghafal. Sebab sekarang kadang statement yang you perlu tulis is actually or because of this gola, but this is not la. This will be giving you the la. All right, just a trick, just a tips to get everybody easy learning. So let me solve this first lah. Okay, let me solve this first. This is just 2x more than or equals to 4. Therefore, x is more than or equals to 2. And another one here, 2x plus 1. No, 2x less than or equals to negative 6. X is less than or equals to negative 3. Yep, that is our answer. And so since this is all, actually you have returned your answer very clearly already. Okay, sebenarnya you dah pun boleh tulis jawapan akhir you dengan sangat kemas lah, iaitu x such that. This is the word such that. So make sure you write down the double dot there. Okay, x such that, barulah masukkan kedua-dua jawapan ini. Saya suka mulakan dengan negatif, lepas tu saya letak perkataan or, lepas tu saya letakkan positive value at the back. So this, and then saya tutupkan dengan curly bracket. And there is another answer, which is we can write down here as negative infinity until 3 close bracket union with number 2 close bracket until positive infinity. So I love to write down in two kind of jawapan lah. Okay, saya suka sebab dia lebih jelas di situ. Sebab saya tahu dua jenis penulisan jawapan, and it's very important. I always ask my students to write two kind of answer. So I hope it's very clear that this is just a mnemonics that we call it go. Okay. Now we have a less than. Okay, we have less than or equal sign here. We actually use la. Okay, la means n. All right. So sebenarnya there are two choices lah. Either you just want to remember and memorize this two formula, but to me I don't really memorize it, because the more you have done mathematics, the more actually you really love to understand the concept. Lebih penting lagi daripada hafal sahaja, you know. So it's very crucial if you really understand the formula instead of just hafal the gola technique. Yeah, the gola technique is just to make you easy learning, but not to understand the concept, you know that. So if you are a very intelligent student, isn't it? So you better to understand the concept. So the concept here is to change this modulus into plus or minus sign. You know that already. And then you can see that x minus 1 is less than or equal to 4, isn't it? X minus 1 less than or equals to 4. And this one is n right now. And negative x minus 1 is less than or equals to 4. Okay, kenapa dia n pula kali ni? Okay, kenapa dia bukan or? Careful ya. This statement is having a two different statement. Kalau you tengok betul-betul, oops. One is and another one is or. What is the difference between these two? Can you comment that in the chat that if you know, if you can share with me, what do you know of these two statement? Kenapa satu pakai or? Kenapa satu pakai and? Kenapa? So di sini saya nak kamu fikir-fikirkan. Kenapa satu pakai and, satu lagi pakai or? Why is it? Can you think of it why? So, saya bagi hint lah dekat sini, okay? Saya bagi hint. Since soalan ini adalah less than or equals to ni less than or. So, soalan ni adalah berkaitan dengan ni. So, lukisan dia saya bagi hint dekat sini ya. Saya bagi hint lah. Saya bagi hint where, of course lah, we have two value of A. So, modulus sentiasa ada dua jenis lah. Satu positive A, satu lagi negative A. I just would like to give you a hint. Di mana lukisan dia bukan lagi seperti yang di bawah ni. Because of the number line. Or for greater than and for lesser than. Ya, Azlan, thank you. Khairil kata because of the number line. Yep, because of the number line is going to show you the reason where kalaulah sini bucu dia ke arah kiri, kalaulah bucu dia sini, bucu dia kiri, it means the definition must be like this. It means that your x is in the middle of negative A and A. It means that you have a dense circle both here, dense circle, and this is the only region that you have. Untuk bucu yang ke kiri. This is bucu ya. The bucu yang di kiri adalah where x is only in the middle. X is in the middle saja. While here x is where? X is around x. X ni bersepah-sepah. X is either on the right or on the left. That's why we call it or. This word is and. It means that x will be greater or equals to negative A. Sebab sini lah kan, of course lah, x ni memang lagi besar daripada negative A pun. Okay, kalau you pandai baca inequality, that's what I meant. You akan faham kenapa ini adalah n. X is more than or equal to A. Okay, you will, if you really understand how what I'm talking now, sebab kenapa? Sebab X ini memang di tengah-tengah saja. Dan apabila dia di tengah-tengah saja, it is just around here, and that's why we call it an N. It's intersection here. Intersection pula. It's just in the middle part here. Okay, di mana dia tidak bersepah-sepah seperti ini ataupun ini. That's why we call it or. While here N is just at the center, you know that? So, ini madam macam mana pula madam dapat ni? It is actually coming from this one, guys. So, I want you to think, why and how is this interconnected? How and why? Let me show you at the example here. I think I already show you why, isn't it? So basically, inilah statement dia. Apa lagi saya nak cakap? Apa lagi saya nak terangkan? Bagaimana lagi saya nak terangkan? So this is a true statement. So there is another way that I can explain kenapa dia and maybe no, I don't have enough time to explain why. I'm so sorry. I just now would like to just continue with my solution here. So I will have here and x minus 1 more than or equals to negative 4. Oh, ni ha. Negative 4. So, maybe I can delete this and explain to you a bit. So I just want you to connect. Cuba tengok apa yang saya tulis di sini. Mungkinlah kan ada separuh yang boleh nampak ke sama ataupun tidak apa yang saya tulis di sini. Can you see the relationship that I wrote here? Ini typo ni ya doi. Ini adalah less than or equals to A. I'm so sorry. Mungkin some of you dah pening kan? Nampak banyak sangat ni. So you don't have to worry, guys. It's very easy actually. So what you have to be very careful of is just I want you to look at this very, very, very closely, whether you need to answer me now. Adakah dia sama? Can you tell me right now in the chat there, are they the same now? They are actually the same, yeah? They are the same. Sorry about the typo just now. It should be less than or equal. Okay? So here goes. This is actually this part. Well, this one is actually this one. Okay? So, saya just nak menyatakan bahawa ini adalah la. That's all. Because some of you feel that it's too difficult, so you can just memorize the go la technique lah. That's enough. Kalau you confuse tentang konsep ini, cukuplah. Sebenarnya you letaklah plus minus sahaja pun dah cukup dah sebenarnya. And then you rearrange it. All I did here is just rearrange this. Nothing much, okay? And then you solve it. X is equals to now 5. And X is more than -3. And you can see that all of this can be written in X is less than 5, but more than -3. So this is actually your answer. This is your answer. There is another answer that you can write it down, which is -3 until 5. So I want you to write down in two kind of answers lah. So this you can try it yourself. I actually need to go to the next problem, which is what is this called? This is called as the absolute inequality as well. If you can see here, this is the absolute value yang tetapi dalam ni mempunyai x squared right now. So we call this as quadratic. Okay guys, this is actually quadratic inequality. So the problem now is quadratic inequality ya. Bukan lagi linear. Sebab apa? Sebab dalam quadratic inequality kita akan mempunyai 2 TOS. Before this you have learned 1 TOS. Remember? That is not having a modulus, but now our problem. Remember? Our problem is having 1 modulus and also inequality. So two modulus. When there are 1 modulus, it means that when there is 1 modulus, it means there are 2 answers. 2 answers mean 2 TOS. Okay, just an introduction for you all. So here goes. Let's begin now. I have to go fast, okay, because I'm short of time. All I want you to know that the problem lah. Okay, saya lebih tekankan problem. So step 1, tolonglah tuliskan problem ni. Problem ni ada modulus dan ada inequality. Tapi dia apa? Tapi dia quadratic. So ada 3 problem. Satu modulus, and then ada inequalities, dan ada quadratic. So ada 3 problem. 1, 2, 3 problem here. So if you know the problem, you know how to solve them. So solving it is just plus minus bracket less than or equals to 3. Okay, so you plus minus it. You will get x squared minus 5x plus 3. So that is your first statement, but this has no marks. The marks is actually where you put two statements. Okay, one statement is x plus, alamak, saya suka pakai duplicate ni saja. One statement is where you have a positive, another statement is where you have a negative. So let me delete this positive negative sign. So what I meant here is, one is positive sign, one is negative sign. So you akan ada dua statement, one statement, two statement. So satu statement, satu inequality akan memberi kita satu TOS. Okay, so here goes, you have two statement. Kenapa ada dua statement? Sebab apa? Sebab modulus will give us plus minus. That's why we will have two inequalities. And so I will pindahkan the second inequality, saya pindahkan dia ke bawah. Sebab yang bawah ni akan bagi kita TOS lah. Okay, jawapan T. So the first here, you must to remember to factorize. You will get here x careful. Before you factorize, dia mesti equal to kosong. This one must be equal to 0 first, remember? Di sinilah bermulanya ilmu 2.2. This one must be equal to 0, and so you gotta minus 3 both side, and hence it will give you x squared minus 5 sahaja. And so when you factorize it, you will get x minus 5 less than or equal to 0. So I want you to do this TOS by yourself, okay? By yourself. And you will get an answer. You DIY, buat sendiri. You akan dapat the answer is 0. Ni bukan jawapan akhir lah. The temporary answer is 0.5. Both close bracket. So another statement here, lagi satu statement di sini adalah x squared minus 5x plus 3 more than or equals to negative 3. If you can see here, I changed the sign. Okay, I changed sign. So when you changing the sign, kenapa? Sebab you divide negative both side. You divide negative both side, that's the reason. And so when you simplify it, you will get x squared minus 5x plus 6 more than or equal to 0. So when that happens, it will give you 2, 3, minus. And so when you do the TOS again, you will get an answer of negative infinity until 2, close bracket, union with 3, infinity. Okay, so you kena ingat dia ni wajib buat ya, wajib buat TOS, ada markah, jangan malas. Okay, TOS wajib buat. Saya tak ada masa nak tunjuk you all sudah pun tahu nak buat bagaimana. And so this is the temporary answer. And so we have to gather two answers here. Kita tak habis lagi. Kita kena gabungkan dua jawapan ni di dalam number line. So the last step, okay, the last step is number line. Okay, the number line needs to have the crucial number, which is the number 2, the number 3, and the number 5 and 0. So 0, 2, 3, 5. 0, 2, 3, 5. Okay. And so you just carilah interval dia adalah 0 sampai 5. So 0 sampai 5, dua-dua ni close bracket. Dan lagi satu adalah 2 ke kiri dan 3 ke kanan. And then the word and, okay, remember the word and. Alamak, kena ada perkataan and lah guys. It must have the word and, but saya terlupa tulis and. And should be there. And. Statement 1 and statement 2 must be close together sepatutnya lah. Okay, statement 1 and statement 2 must be together and put the word and here. This is crucial. Saya terlepas pandang. Sepatutnya dua statement ini kena dituliskan sekaligus. Kena dituliskan sekaligus. Tapi tidak apa. Since you know the statement adalah and, bermaksud dia intersect. Bila dia intersect, inilah intersection dia. So jawapan akhir dia adalah X is in between 0 and 2 or X is in between 3 and 5. So that's the answer. Ataupun jawapan lagi satu mesti ditulis dalam bentuk kosong 2 close bracket union with 3 5 close bracket. That's it. That's the answer. Now the last part from me is actually bahagian rational inequality. Okay. Bahagian rational inequality. Yeah, I do have time though. Now, let's move forward to the rational inequality. So here, the problem, step 1, again, look at the problem. Look at the problem, you have modulus sign, you have inequalities, and you have a rational. Now you have a rational. Apa yang maksud dia rational? Maksud rational adalah ini. Rational bermaksud 2x over x plus 3. This is rational because got ratio. Ada per bermaksud rational. So step 2 is solving. Solving dia adalah put a plus minus sign kepada rational kita. Step pertama adalah just put a plus minus sign, you know. Bila you dah tahu, you know, I think the basic problem solving is just put a bracket lah. Change the modulus into bracket and then you put plus minus sign, isn't it? So plus minus sign, tidak apa, tukarkan disebabkan you faham the modulus. Very good. And then you just copy back 1 there, right? And then more than or equal to 1. Jangan lupa copy back kembali. Copy back sahaja. Now we have 2 statement lah. Kita akan ada statement, dua jenis inequality. So statement yang pertama is 2x over x plus 3 is more than or equal to 1. Or negative 2x over x plus 3 is more than or equal to 1. Okay, since ini adalah bucu go, you know, this is bucu ke kanan, so greater or lah. That's why I put the word or. Okay, that's why I actually put the word or. Okay, so actually kalau you tulis begini, you dapat satu markah, tahu tak? Because we have two statement yang you jelas menunjukkan you faham bagaimana nak menulis. Okay, bagaimana nak menulis secara jelasnya. Okay, betapa pentingnya penulisan ini. Step yang the first mark is actually over here, guys. I do not know how to tell you how much important that this is the first mark, having the word or lah. So sebenarnya yang di atas ni kita tak boleh pisahkan dia. Okay, as I said just now, actually I cannot pisahkan sepatutnya. So let me perbetulkan balik kesalahan saya. Bukanlah kesalahan sangat pun. It is just something that I should write down secara jelas bahawa just that I don't have the ruang, you know that. Okay, just a minute. So saya nak merecap kembali lah. Saya nak recap semula bahawa betapa pentingnya penulisan ini. Okay, you tahu bahawa dia perlu ada plus minus, isn't it? I have to recap so that everyone knows. Plus minus, you dah faham dah pun. This is just copy back. Alright, so you get a look at this part and you will see that, oh ni bucu lah, bucu less, so this is la. Okay, when this is la, you know how to write down already. Tapi kalau saya jadi kamu, saya akan tulis statement yang ini dulu. And then n. La means n lah. That's why I must put the word n. And what? And negative x squared minus 5x plus 3 is less than or equal to 3. Okay, so basically I want to remind you that this is actually first mark. Ni markah pertama ya. The word n is very important. I want to remind you that the word n is hugely important. Hugely, hugely ya. What I meant here is you mesti betul simbol negative sign ni. And here still less than or equals to 3, you know that? So the first step here, the first statement ni mesti betul. Kalau you tidak betul statement ini, you akan hilang markah. And when you hilang markah, bermaksud bawah tu semua salah nanti. So it's a huge loss lah kalau you tak betul-betul buat statement ni. You understand me? Lepas tu kalau you nak rearrange it, you boleh buat lah apa you nak. Kalau you nak rearrange, you know, this one you can rearrange jadi x squared minus 5x plus 3 more than or equals to 3. Yeah, you can rearrange it. Up to you guys lah. Asalkan ada salah satu ni akan memberi you markah. You punya simbol ni kena betul. Benda ni bukan main-main ya guys. No, kalau you silap satu simbol, you akan salah semuanya. So this statement is very crucial in choosing the word n. It's very important. Kalau lah sini you dah betul tetapi sini you tulis or, still got wrong lah guys. Everything will be wrong. So make sure you just remember bucu dia kiri means less than, just use la. La means lesser n, just put the word n. While this one is go. Kenapa dia go? Sebab bucu dia ke kanan, greater or. So you must put the word or. You understand me, everybody? So this is actually a very crucial statement. This will give you the first mark. The first mark is important. This one have to be correct. It's either you use the correct go ataupun you are using the correct n. Is it clear, everyone? So di sini kita akan ada dua lah. Again, kita akan ada satu TOS dan dua TOS. Okay. Kenapa ada dua jenis TOS? Disebabkan apa? Disebabkan ada dua statement. So saya di sini nak tunjukkan bahawa, so last one from me, kita dah nak habis kelas. So I just want to show you how much I just want to show you that saya tunjuk salah satu sahajalah ya. Saya minta maaf, saya tidak cukup masa. I can show you only one of them. Okay. Di mana kalau you berjumpa dengan rational problem. Okay, ini saya dah tukar ya. Saya sudah pun tukar dia punya sign, you know. Okay, this is statement number 2 ya. So statement number 2, this is what I'm doing. I'm solving the statement number 2. This one you do it yourself. And dalam TOS senang saja. So I want to tell you that this thing is statement number 2 ya. Okay, this is statement number 2. So I would like you to understand that for the rational problem, everything should be less than or equal to 0. So you must move everything to the left ataupun plus 1 both side. Okay, you must plus 1 both side. Everyone, tolonglah tambah 1 both side. Sebab apa? Kita nak clearkan di belah kanan ni, dia mestilah less than or equal to 0. You cannot cross multiply. Last tips from me. Tips untuk menyelesaikan rational problem is just cannot cross multiply. I think many of the lecturers has already said that cannot cross multiply. Jangan darab silang kepada soalan rational inequality. Jangan sesekali, okay? All you gotta do is just minus 1 both side. so that you get less than or equal to 0, and then you samakan denominator, you solve, and you will get the answer. So habis sudah jam 9. I want you to try it, and let's see whether you got the answer for this one. The final answer is negative infinity until negative 3 union negative 3 until negative 1 union with 3 until infinity. Wow, there are 3 answers guys. Soalan ni memang panjang. Minta maaf lah saya bagi soalan yang panjang rupanya. Tapi tidak apa, I know you can do it. So soalan ini agak panjang, tetapi there is nothing that you can not do. So I want you to try this. Make sure you have 2 TOS ya. I remind you again, you must do the TOS. It's a must. And dalam Google Form, saya ada bagi you Google Form, isn't it? So saya nak you jawab soalan ni saja. Soalan nombor 15B. Solve 15B only. And you take a picture, send me the PDF, and then hantar sebelum 5:30 petang ini. So we stop here. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum. Goodbye everyone.